to Two Kims, One Pod.
One Pod.
I'm your host, Peter Kim.
And I am Eunji Kim.
No relation. And it's time for Rock Hard Tops.
Rock Hard Tops.
And Soft Flaccid Bottoms.
Flaccid Bottoms.
This is our segment of the week where we talk about our tops and bottoms. I'll go first because I want to hear about your top because I'm so intrigued. But okay, so to recap, you guys, this is our first pod after the tour, which by the way, fresh. I listened to our episode that we did together yesterday. So it was so interesting to listen back to like what our fears were about the tour and everything. Like it was just really surreal, but I'm still buzzing from the tour. So I would say some of my rock hard top is the tour Afterglow.
Same.
Yes, but and thanks again to everyone who came out. It was truly. I was gobsmacked. I was not ready for the love.
No,
and we talk about in our car vlogs, like how we were gaping for love. And I'll tell you, at first it was hard to receive all that love from you guys, and from two people who have not bottomed for love in maybe ever actually
ever.
Yeah, and we're in very successful long-term relationships.
Yes.
But thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so eternally grateful for the tour, and it's really given us a whiting moment for the next leg, which we are planning, by the way.
We are 100%. Yes.
But my other top of the week was I had come home. I don't know about you, but during the tour, I was very horny. Like after the show,
yes,
after
all
that
the adrenaline yes.
rush, because I'm not drinking.
Yes.
So that has to go somewhere. So I was really like jonesing for the D.
Yes.
During the trip, and it's no surprise you and I were conjoined at the fucking hip for 5 days straight. Like I was not hooking up with anyone. I was not getting any D on the road.
No.
Although I would have been okay with it.
Open to it.
Open to receive, but none was thrown my way, and nor did I really like go out and hook for it.
You weren't hustling for it. You weren't hustling for dick. Yeah.
I wasn't out there looking for Johns. Like it was not in my, like I was exhausted. So if it came my way, I would have gladly opened my heart, my home, my mouth to the D. But but it did not come my way. So
someone put that on a t-shirt.
Yes. That will be in our merch store.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Anyway, so I was all horned up from the freaking tour, and I get home.
Strangely.
Yeah. You weren't horny during the tour? The shows didn't make you horny?
I mean,
it makes me want to fuck. After like 90 minutes of like riotous show that we were responsible for, like how do you come down from that? I guess the drinking helps, but like...
Yeah, but I will say that it's like, in my mind, I don't associate... That I think is probably a big difference between male energy in that way, is that like for you, you feel this and you feel like adrenaline and like...
T.
Yeah.
Like this, testicular...
Heat.
Yeah.
Like you're hot from it.
Emanation.
You're building yourself... Emanation.
Yes.
You're like wanting to spray...
Yes.
You're trying to spray it outwards.
To proliferate my seed.
And for you, that means like it's like a sexual
it's a sexual
connection.
Thing. Yes.
And in my mind, there is
like
no
I need to
room
come.
in my mind.
I need to like. You don't need to come after shows.
I've already come.
You've already come. You came.
I came.
And now you're ready to conquer.
I'm ready to. It's a different vibe. Like
it's a different vibe. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just like I'm not really. It's much more of a song and dance situation. Like I'm not trying to conquer or win, or I'm not, because also sexuality in this regard is, it requires so much like stuff and like entry and invasion and this like thing like
that's why I'm looking for mouth stuff, hand, a foot, something like appendagey, like nothing has to enter. I don't need any honestly, if I never have intercourse on the road, I will be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or ever really in my life. I don't think I ever okay. So with that being said, I'll get to my top. Is that I came home all horned up, and I had some good ass shower sex. And let me tell you, shower sex is 1 out of 10. The hit rate 20. The hit rate is low. The enjoyment factor, there's more cramping than there is coming during shower sex. So it's not
you're spending so much of your time outside of the spray.
The water, someone's getting cold. Yeah. And then the water's not really a great lubricant, so you have to re-lube in there, but you don't want to bring lube in there, so you're trying to use
it's a slip ring.
It's
like I've fallen in a can't get up situation. Yes.
Seriously, yes. I have a little life alert thing, and this
is like literally what that's about. Those old people were trying to have sex in the shower.
That's why those old people have those tubs that just open right up. Those doors. God, I would love one of those. The step-in baths, step-in showers. Oh, Eunji, can we just get to a point where we get old and rich enough where we could have step-in showers? Like, that would be so luxurious. May I never have to fucking step over the lip of a tub. Anyway.
May I? Mother, may I?
So anyway, we had some really good shower sex, and I don't know how it happened. Good shower sex truly is like, you have to it's like a sneeze. Like, it comes and goes, it feels good, but you could never really recreate it. It's not.
It's Moby Dick. It's the Moby Dick. It's a Moby Dick.
It is a Moby Dick. Yeah, you're chasing the great whale, and it's it was good. I'll say it was really great, and it really I think also the edging on the road for some kind of release also made that shower sex even more I guess I became way limberer. Bitch, I was Dominique Dawes. You know what I mean? I was doing flips, tricks.
Perfect landing.
I was flipping on a horse. I was vaulting, honey. She.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got those moves from. Woo-wee. I'll tell you what. And then, of course, Eric's like, ooh, let's try it again. And I'm like, I don't think it'll work. I don't think I could do it again.
I mean, that's sort of how I feel about the impulse you're describing is literally why comics on the road, they are looking for something after the show. It's the reason why rock stars, they want, they look, groupies. Yes, that's why they look for and recruit for them after. It's like a part of a meal. It's like you
gotta have the dessert.
You gotta have the dessert. This is a part of it. And let me tell you, that has never been an impulse. Even if I crush anything that, I've never wanted to be yes, and I will. No, never that impulse.
No, never a need to get off with someone. What if your husband was at the ready?
I mean, I guess that's happened a couple of times, but it's much more the hang after. I love a hang. To me, being able to conquer, and do well inside of a hang after a good set and kind of glad hand and have a good time. That's sort of my equivalent because I've already done the thing. So the rest of it is sort of pillow talk. I like good pillow talk because I've already jizzed. The jizz already.
I got you. Yeah.
It's just what I guess this is how I jizz
like a fop jizzing from the 20s.
Yeah, exactly. I've jizzed, and now that's much more. It's very interesting because I've never understood that.
We were on tour
that
the whole time, and we were we had completely different impulses. Wow.
I mean, it's truly, and
it's a prison for me. That impulse to look for sexual release after like doing a show.
Yeah.
Like it's not good. It's not a great. I'd rather have the impulse of like, eat tteokbokki or something. I mean, truly, I do have that impulse too.
Yeah, we
The
both
eating,
did have.
the
We
eating
do
and
have that
fucking, it's
impulse.
like a similar impulse for me.
Yes.
Like it is
Yes.
like it's hitting the same type of whatever
Receptors
dopamine.
in the- yeah.
Exactly.
For
Anyway,
sure.
what was your
I
top
have the
this
food.
week?
I have the food.
Yeah, we have
Well,
the
I
food.
think also our tops were probably, aside from the shower sex, also the New York show, which was a top for us.
If we're talking about the tour, like the
Yeah.
stand up New York was beyond.
Beyond.
I know. It
Truly.
Was, it was my pinnacle.
Yes.
I'm like using that tape now and sending it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. I got desperate. I came back and I was like, what am I doing? Like there's no work for me. We were talking
Yeah.
about this. Like I'm feeling very, I'm trying to stay calm because that psychic in Minnesota told me to stay calm. But, and I have pulled the King of Cups. So like, I'm really like feeling that energy of like, remaining my emotions being, in control. But it's hard because it's a very scary time.
Yes.
So, I'm like really like, I'm shaking every tree. I've hit up like every celebrity I know and
Good.
said like, can I feature for you? I'm talking, I reached out to Pete Holmes, Al
Good.
Madrigal, Bobby Lee.
Good.
Like
Good.
I'm literally Ronnie Chang, Jimmy O Yang, like
Good.
people I like. And I'm like, I know you don't know me like that, but like I could crush on the road and let me try. And I'm like, I'm emailing people now. And so like, so it's really the tour has gotten me back to, I guess this is another top is that I'm now like getting myself back out there in the LA scene, albeit like it's tough, but I'm doing it because I want to like maintain, but it is tough.
I mean, because watching you, Peter, you are a creature of the stage.
I
is no
love
one
it. I mean,
this, and I will say this: anyone that comes out to see us, I guarantee you, Peter is working for your laugh. The bitch is sweating. Sweating. The bitch is going to be pulling you in, even if you don't want to. Even if you're like, I just came to watch. He's gonna pull. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a sex party or orgy or whatever, and you just think that you're gonna watch. Peter's like, no, you are gonna participate.
No, you're participating.
You're gonna be your hands. Something is gonna be involved. You're not just a spectator.
A foot, a mouth, yes.
My heart, my home, my mouth.
Let the D in. Yes, that
Peter's
is
working.
the experience.
And just
I am working.
And watching you work in that way, I mean, Peter and I are friends, but I'm also a fan, and it was just really wonderful to behold. So I'm like glad that you came back with this like renewed commitment to it, albeit it's like fear-based, anxiety-driven. But
it's the best motivation I have.
Yes, it's truly.
No, yeah, you're right. Like I and likewise, I'm also a fan of yours, and to watch you up there crush, and for us to crush our shows together, our like tops and bottoms together, like it really. It was like nothing else, like it,
really?
Like I've done like stuff like this, like I've been on the road, I've done Second City Tourco, but it's different when it's like completely yours and your creation together, and you're serving it up to these people who paid an exorbitant price to be there, not just the ticket price, but like the lobster risotto at the city wineries. This shit is like, we're talking $26, $28 a plate. Some shit was MP, market price. Most comedy viewers ain't paying market price, honey. Like, what you talking about? No, they're getting chicken fingers. Bitch, they're getting Jack's Frozen Pizza, not even Tombstone. Like, you are kidding me. Comedy, we were delivering 90 minutes of comedy in a in such an like shockingly elevated place.
Truly.
You know, like it doesn't belong there. Like,
Yeah.
but it worked. It worked.
Did.
Like that was another top. Like our audience members did not give a fuck that they were out probably hundreds of dollars per table or capita or whatever.
Yeah.
Like to watch us. Like that seems unfair. But also that made me step my pussy up. I don't know if that like did you feel that? Being in the City Winery made me want to give them like an experience.
And we did. I mean, it really did. It did. We walked away from all these shows, and I think our audience members also. I mean, we said this in DC, but then this tour really solidified it. Is like how appreciative we are of the fact that you guys come out and like the sort of like closeness that our audience feels with us, and that we likewise feel with you. Because, I mean, neither of us, like neither audience members or us, like ever saw each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, they didn't expect us to exist inside of podcasts, and we didn't expect them to exist inside of the audience. Like, it's just like, we're just so grateful for each other that we found each other. We're grateful that we found each other, that each other exists, and that we can share so many experiences together, that we share so many point of views and like traumas together. Like, it was wonderful to share all of those things with us. And like to see and meet all the people that have supported us through all these times.
I met everyone who came out.
I know.
And you know me, for months I have been saying I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to meet anyone. Like and I stand corrected. I am because it felt so cool to meet you guys and to hear your stories and how you attach yourselves to our stories and our pod, and it just was like, to be corny, like it was magic. It really was.
It was.
So yeah, complete top.
Truly.
But also we got to talk about your other top. This is my top. So Eunji went back to Chicago on Sunday. I went to LA, and then this bitch flew right back on Tuesday to go
to
out
New York.
to New York, back to New York to do the Chosen Comedy Festival. This was 4,000 people in the amphitheater.
Yes, and Coney Island.
Huge theater outside, but huge.
Huge. The
largest venue you've ever done. Hands
not
down.
even close. Hands down.
Wow. Okay. So tell me, you're doing 10 minutes, and you're on the lineup with famous people.
Famous comedians.
Jewish people.
Yes.
Including
because this was a Jewish comedy festival. Yeah.
This was, okay, and when you showed me the fucking list, I was like, okay, whatever, she's doing this festival. I didn't even consider that he would be there, but when I saw his name, I fucking screamed, because Dave Attell is my comedian. He's the guy that I used to watch when I was 16, and I would go into the Comedy Cellar and drink 2 Diet Cokes and watch him all night. Like, he was so monumental in helping me like develop my own comedic voice. The sting, the sharpness, the acerbic. Funny. Yes.
He's defined what it is to be funny of the last 50 years.
Yes. And
since
defined
the late
New York
90s.
comedy.
Yes.
So
he is singularly responsible.
Yes. And to see you on the same lineup as him, it really cracked me. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Anyway, so before we get into Dave Attell, how was your set?
Good. It went well. It went really
Why did you
well.
Pause?
Because it's 4,000 people. I mean, I'm talking like
what? Why is that a bad thing?
So it's not bad. It's just, it's outdoors. There is the vibe and the rolling laughter or something like that. I mean, you've done really big rooms. I've done big rooms. Like
I've done 4,000 with Second City, and the laughs take time. The timing's different.
The timing is totally different, and also it's just me, and it's also outdoors. So there's literally no walls. So the laugh is like,
you can't really hear
until it gets to a place, and then it's coming rolling back down, because they do have like a ceiling. So the laugh is leaving out, but whatever's starting from the back is rolling forward.
Okay.
So it's like light laughter coming in a wave like that. So it's hard, right?
Right. And also, we have to understand that amphitheaters and most theaters, they're designed acoustically for the audience to hear the person on stage.
Yes.
Not the other way around. No one is thinking about comedy like comedians experience in in a theater. That's not what this was designed for.
No, it's
most people,
musicians,
speakers, whatever, it's only a one-way thing besides clapping. Then, whatever. But like laughter wasn't included in the architectural designs of amphitheaters.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I could tell it was going well because I was consistently hearing a murmur, a laughter. I was consistently, but it wasn't punching the way I wanted it to.
Yes, it wasn't stand-up New York.
It's not stand-up New York. It's not like a closed. Yeah, it's not like a ceiling that you can touch. Yeah,
exactly.
Where like every small thing is making laughter sounds. And but I knew I was doing fine, and I knew it was going fine because I could hear the it's like, and I was hitting I had hit and was maintaining a rhythm that was my own and felt natural. I hit like a weird register voice wise when I came out. I was like, oh, I've never spoken that register before. Like, what's happening?
Was it higher?
It was
Were you
lower.
speaking higher? Lower.
I was speaking lower because I was trying to stay calm.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
And I especially because I hit a pitch at a point in my set, and I didn't want to blow it out because I could. The second I walked out, I could hear the mic was also set for that. It was really loud, and
also you're doing less than half the time you were doing on tour.
That's what I mean. So, and I'm also saying a collection of phrases and jokes I've never said out loud before.
You're doing all new stuff?
I would say I did 4 minutes of new material that was just for Jewish audiences.
For Jewish audiences? Oh, yes. Okay.
So I'm just saying,
you hadn't tested that out?
No, absolutely not. When would I have been able to do that, Peter?
So how did that go?
That's what I mean. So I was hitting it, and I could hear the good, consistent, good chuckles, and I guess it was popping out in the audience because I had friends there, and they were saying it was popping. It was like I was starting to crush.
Okay.
But I can't hear it.
You can't hear it. That's tough. That's tough.
Yes, but I know that I'm hitting and I'm saying it comedically, and it's enough, right? And I have the goodwill of the audience. Because I'm also trying, right? I'm like trying to put in a lot of Jewish material, like I'm doing and putting in the effort. And then I get to the viral bit, and then I settle in because that's like the actual jokes that I know.
Right.
And I've said them before. And then it's crushed, and then after that it was great.
Okay.
Because that's my set, and I'm settling in, and I was like hitting the rhythm, and I knew because I've done the top of it where I was waiting, and then I knew now I wouldn't have to wait. I was just pausing. Right? I wasn't trying to listen for because I knew where the laugh was because it's my set.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was surreal. The whole thing felt crazy. I mean, when you performed in front of the 4,000, like, do you know what I mean? Like, your mind can't fathom that. Like,
it's hard to process. It's hard to process why there's that many people there and why they're all laughing. Yeah, it's
crazy, and everyone is Jewish. Like, it's also a thing that can only exist in New York because there are so many types of Jews there. Like in Chicago, there's basically 3 kinds, And in New York, it's like you got your Hasidim, you got your Orthodox, you got your modern Orthodox, you got like conservative, you got modern conservative, you got Reform, you got like modern Reform. Like it's all of this it's crazy. You have Persian Jews, you have like Israelis, like it's all of it is all over the place, and everyone is different. If this gives you any indication of like the kind of the crowd and the plurality around Judaism, you know what tefillin is? To do tefillin, like when the guy is wraps the strap around him and then he prays like with the little like hat on him, and it's like got the scroll. It's like it's called davening.
I don't know what that is. Okay.
So it's like if you ever in Crown Heights or anything like that, there's a lot of religious people that ask people that look Jewish if they have done tefillin today, and that's just pray. And so then you're like,
but they have a scroll on their head that's like the prayer.
Yeah, it's like a little black box.
Okay.
And it's like this. Basically, there's a scroll in there.
It has a prayer in it.
It is. Yes. And you say the prayer.
Okay.
You pray.
But what's in the box?
It's like a scroll.
With
It's like a very
writing
small.
on it?
Yes.
Or it's a blank scroll?
No.
Take notes
I think it's like a version of the Torah. I don't know, like
it's like a mini Torah.
Yeah, it's like either Torah or like
Torah
Talmud
for tots.
or like no. But it's like you have to. It's like for men only. I don't know if they. Yeah. So So I'm watching this man like wrap the leather strap and like is doing tefillin, and after he unwraps it, he smokes a joint.
He had a little joint in the box.
No, I mean it's just like it gives you the understanding of like the entire like plurality around and a relationship. I mean, when you have like a relationship with religion and your own spirituality and with God, like, you know, this like it just means that you are very aware of all the rules. That means that you can break or not break a multitude of them, right?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. So it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. Wholly like so grateful to the festival. But when I saw my name on the lineup and because I didn't know Dave Attell was going to be there either.
Because you would have told me that.
I would have told you. I would have been thinking about it the entire time.
Right.
It was not in any post. He was not tagged in anything. He's not on the fucking poster. It's just.
Because I saw the poster and I was like, "You're the most famous person there." So.
No, Jeff Ross was there. Triumph, like Robert Spiegel was there.
Sure.
Like, yeah. I mean, like I got to shake his hand, but. Seeing David, I lost that's when I sent it to you. I was like, oh my God. Because if I had known, I would have lost my mind. I
lost my mind. So you met him?
So I saw him before I went on and I was freaking out. And I was like, and he's so cute.
He's like a little man. Yeah.
He's so tiny. Small. Yeah. He's so cute. And he was like, you know, he looked like himself. Like, it's just so... You know what I mean? Like there was no like, oh, he looked bigger or small. Like he just, and you remember that, like, of course, stand-up comedians should look like what you expect because they should be unapologetically themselves. They should not try to be more glamorous versions of the, you know, except for Joan Rivers. And so, may she rest. So like, but so I see him and I'm nervous because I'm like, you know, and then
I'm
freaking out.
I'm shitting.
And I'm seeing the audience. I'm already kind of freaking out, but I was doing these like meditation things and trying to like center myself and fucking be present, you know?
Yes.
Because like if you consider anything, I'm losing, right? And I see everyone's backstage. It's Jeff, the Dave, Ari Shafir shows up, like Eli. It's like all these comics are backstage, and like Modi and Elon Gold are like hosting the event, and they're like, "Oh, Jeff Ross is next," and I'm like, "No, I am." But I don't say anything. I'm just standing there. And all of a sudden someone's like, "No, it's Eunji. Eunji is next." And they're like, "What?" And they turn around like "Who are you?" Like,
why are you here?
What are you doing here? And then he's like, comes up to me, he's like, "How do you want me to introduce you?" They're running it like a regular show. Like it's still stand-ups.
Yeah.
Like
Of course.
A show.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many people are there. He's like, "What do you want me to introduce you?" I was like, nothing. Just say I'm funny. He's like, "No, what are your credits?" And he's like, being impatient. I'm like what? Like CBS? He's like, HBO, Netflix. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I wouldn't be here if I was any of those things. But I gave him my credits, and then he goes out there, intros me, and like, you know, it's fine. And then I get off stage, and then Mr. Attell is there off stage, comes up to me immediately and says, "Great job. You did great. Good stuff." Gave me a fist bump. Baby, the fist bump.
A fist bump from Attell. Oh my God.
And then Peter, I freak out and I grab his fist like this.
You hold it.
I fist and then I go like this.
You hold
I grab it. and then and I won't let go, and then move
gripping.
into a death gripping, and then he asks me if I'm from Chicago. He's like, "Oh, so you're from Chicago?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then he tells me that I can go out there and do a guest spot for him when he's at the Schaumburg Improv in October, because he knows, and he's like, "You don't have to drive." And then he immediately starts apologizing, like, "Well, you know, if you're from the city, it's like such a long ways. Like, if you don't want to come, that's fine." I'm like, "No," because I'm not saying anything. I'm like,
"Yeah, I'll crawl to Schaumburg to do 5 minutes for you. You're crazy."
And he's, because I'm not responding, because I'm like blown away, you know, I'm like in shock. And finally I grab him by the his shoulders, and I'm like, "Mr. Hotel, I will do anything for you."
Wow.
Like I really was.
How was his
losing my mind.
set?
It was great. I mean, he was like, it was up at the end. Most of the people were leaving. I know. But can you imagine? I mean, like, all of it. He's still crushed. It was very, it was a dream, right?
Yeah.
This is a dream.
Yeah, that's my dream. You're living my dream. It's crazy. You not only got to crush in front of a tell, he wants you to come open for him at Schaumburg. It would have been better if it was, you know, in the city, but great. That's amazing. That's as close as to Chicago he's going to get at that time.
I mean,
in October.
He just did the Den. So he's already been here.
He's
this
here.
year.
Right. Wow. That's incredible.
So he's going to do the Southern.
Oh my God.
It was really a dream. It was a dream, and then to have...
I need you to like hold on to this, because when the bad days come, you will need to bask in the glow of a tell telling you that you crushed.
He didn't say I crushed. He said, "Yeah, good stuff, good set."
And to ask you to come, like, that means you crushed. If he wants, he could have just said, "Nice job," and walked away. You know what I mean? Like, he asked you to come to Schaumburg. This is crazy. This is the pinnacle of your comedy career. Like,
isn't it? It is, right?
It is. After after crushing your own tour, to do that, like, that's, I mean, yeah, you're peaking.
It felt crazy. It did feel crazy. I'm glad that there were normal people there, because, again, so when we were in New York, Peter and I stayed with his high school friend, Lorene, who was wonderful.
Shout out to Lorene.
Loved.
We love you.
Shout out.
Thank you so much. Great host.
So incredible host. But like, do you remember after the show, she was just like, she didn't get how we had fans. And it's like,
yeah, same, friend.
But it was like the same thing I needed after having this experience, and like a tell of it all, and like just like, I mean, I got my hair and makeup done for a fucking live show.
For a 10-minute set. Crazy.
Truly nuts, right?
Were they
like
taping it? Why did they?
I don't know. I have no idea. Because, okay.
Oh, because you're like on a screen, right?
I'm on a jumbotron.
Oh, right. That's why.
There were two jumbo.
Like, we can't have you blown up like that without makeup.
Yes.
On. That's crazy.
And I am grateful for that. So, but like, so to go from that, I was like immediately felt in myself, because like, we didn't really need that as much because we had each other. But like, you know, you gotta touch grass. Like, there's just like a moment where you need to fucking know what's real. And, you know, I had some friends there. It was very vital. I think otherwise I would have lost my mind. And then going home to my high school friend to just like, who doesn't fucking get it. You know, she's like, it's like cool, but she doesn't know who Dave Attell is. She doesn't know. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Like, all of it.
My
was
high
like,
school friends would have been the same. They don't know like who.
They don't know. They don't. It's just like, so it's just like, that is sort of the, it was important to even like have that grounding. And it's important because we will, I think,
but
even though we
such an
both
immediate
get worked
grounding. Like, did you go out and like stay up in the air a little bit, or like did you like float around Manhattan or Brooklyn or something? Like, go to a bar or
I
something?
did not. I was.
You went
in
straight
bed.
to that friend's house and went to bed, and not got any D in your heart, home, or mouth.
No, I did not.
Damn.
I went to the after party.
Behavior. How was the after party?
After party was fine. I had one drink and then I went. I hung out. I took a lot
Did
of
your
pictures.
friends come to the after party?
No, they like left after my set. They like hung out for a little bit and then we left.
Oh, so you just
left.
went to their house afterwards?
No, my friends were not. The friends that came were not the ones that I went to.
Oh, you were staying with. Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I see. Okay.
No, these were like younger comic friends, not like my friend
I
I was
see.
staying with. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Who has like
okay.
an apartment with children in Park Slope. No.
real life.
A real life. And so she couldn't go out on a
One more
Tuesday.
top I want to say is, before we move on to our bottoms, is speaking of after parties, all the Koreans that threw us after parties.
Truly.
Oh my God. Starting with the Philly Koreans, you guys are nuts. You guys are so fun. That was really awesome to hang out with y'all. And what's it called?
The Wawa-rians.
Wawa-rians. By the way, hey, the guy, Dan, was it Dan?
I just know. We just called him Wawa. We just kept calling him Wawa.
Wawa Oppa. Yo, Wawa Oppa, we went to your Cafe Walnut in the morning to get coffee and bagels. And
Yes.
yeah, good bagels.
Yeah, they were.
Anyway, so, and in New York, Mina-chan, our former kick-ass Korean,
Yes.
put together a great after party. We hung out at Fred's, Upper West Side. All our friends came out, and that was super fun. Thank you, Mina, and happy birthday, Kim. Yeah, thanks for coming out. So yeah, those are also tops. Now, my bottom's pretty quick.
Okay.
I have a toilet brush that is like I have a toilet brush that's not plastic. It's not one of those Bed Bath Beyond plastic toilet brushes. It's kind of like a nice one that like comes in two pieces and you have to screw it on. And I was screwing it. It was loose, right? And a toilet brush in two pieces. Imagine two metal pieces that screw in, and then the end is a toilet brush. And I'm trying to like brush the toilet, and it's not. It's like kink, 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 because it's not all the way pushed in.
Okay.
So like I'm trying to like turn it so that it tightens, and I'm so frustrated. So I go, what the fuck is going on? And I flip it over upside down to try to turn it to squeeze the thing, and then the toilet brush flicks
Toilet water in your
into
face.
my face, eyes, nose, and mouth. It was.
Not my heart. Not my home. Not my.
I was so mortified that I had, and it was because I had this fancy toilet brush instead of having like a normal fucking plastic one piece. And look at me trying to be fancy with brushing my toilet bowl.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You're getting too big for your toilet britches.
Yeah, exactly. So I ate a whole mouthful of toilet waters, and that's my bottom of the week.
Oh.
I know. Horrific.
Okay.
Horrific.
Okay. My bottom. God. You give me trauma sometimes. Your stories, you give me trauma.
I know.
Like, yeah. You say stuff like this like it's like no big deal. And it would have been something I talked about incessantly. I would have been telling strangers about it.
No, I'm telling our audience about it. I'm telling you our audience.
My bottom, my soft little flaccid little bottom for the week is my flight was canceled to New York. So I was supposed to fly out at 7 o'clock a.m. on Tuesday to NYC so I could land at 9:30 in LaGuardia. And I would have had a really wonderful day in New York. And I would have been able to leisurely make my way to the final show, to the set in Coney Island. Really beautiful. At 8 o'clock the night before on Monday, my flight was canceled.
Jesus.
At 8:03, it was rebooked, and it had me going from Chicago at 3:30 p.m. to Nashville, from Nashville to DC, and from DC to New York. And I was arriving.
2 stops? No.
2 stops, none of which made sense. Nashville and then DC. Okay.
Oh my.
And it had me arriving in New York at 11 p.m. I get this. I'm like, what's happening? I'm getting rerouted. What am I doing with this? And it was automatically rebooked. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm freaking out because I'm supposed to leave in like hours.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking out. So I will say to ye, American Airlines, I called and tried to rebook, and they're saying that everything had been canceled because of rain. Now, rain happens. Rain, much like shit, much like everything else. And if you are in an airline and you are afraid of rain, I would have to say maybe get out of the business because it's going to happen.
That's not your business.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's not your business.
Figure it out.
You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to figure something else.
Rain can't be the thing stopping you, hon. Okay? Remember our plane when we were leaving for Pittsburgh? Bitch didn't have brakes. And they were like... We're gonna have
and
to
that's business.
you.
That's business that you need to be in. That's something that United you got to figure out. But American, if you're afraid of a little rain, because you don't think I know people on the East Coast? I do, and I talked to them. I spoke to every single one that I know, and they all said that the rain was torrential in Philly, and it lasted for 4 hours. So tell me,
why the cancellation?
What happened? Why the cancellation? Why did everybody get canceled? And then I had to I had to cancel and rebook and find flight through Southwest. Thank you very much. Who had many flights.
Ooh, Southwest. That's a tough one.
Oh, it was tough. But guess what? They were willing to fly.
That's the one without the seat assignments, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and you have to fucking wrestle someone to get to your seat.
Oh, and not only that, but I think, is this like a thing where Southwest flight attendants need to be funny?
Oh, were they doing their Type 5s?
All of them were doing a Type 5.
Wow.
Like the first guy in St. Louis.
Potential?
I don't know, but they were all reminded me of guys that I did improv with, in level 1 and 2, like the funny gay guys.
Yes. We love a funny gay guy.
Yes.
Who's in the sky? Funny gay guy in the sky. Yes, honey.
Okay,
Captive
that's
audience.
God. Okay, they're God. Funny gay guy in the sky. That's God.
That's God.
So
that's God.
And it was is this the thing? Let me know. At me at Southwest Airlines. I loved it. Love a little levity in the air. A little bit of straight shooterness. Instead of school shooterness, it was straight shooterness. And
finally,
it was.
Finally, it wasn't a school shooter.
But it was really great. I would just say, American, you gotta get it. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That I had to rebook. And everything settled by 9:30, and I had to rebook.
These airlines are getting fucking out of control. They're gonna
really.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You've had it too good, too long.
You have. And you know what? Stop putting ashtrays in the fucking bathrooms if you don't want us to use them. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Why are you still have that ashtray there and be no smoking?
We're not victim blaming. We're not victim blaming. We're just saying.
I'm just saying. Just an observation.
Just an observation.
All right. So those are our tops and bottoms of the week. We're almost out of time, but I think we should get into our Trauma Llama Ding Dong.
Yes, let's do it.
It's time for Trauma Llama Ding Dong.
Okay, I like that one.
What's this segment about?
So we're going to just share any sort of small trauma that you may remember or have had or remember from having in your past. And just share away. Go for it, Peter.
Well, other than the toilet brush absolutely attacking me in the face, I want to share a little trauma. Actually, a recent one. So along with, us being on tour and being in the car for so long, and we didn't really get to exercise our bodies. The whole time I was messaging my masseur, Chris. I'm gonna put you on blast,
Ooh.
Chris.
Yeah. Masseur.
Can we set up a session? I need to get
Yes.
worked out. My body's so tight from on the road, blah, blah. And he's like, great. And we have a session booked, and I confirm everything, and I get to his area like early because I'm like,
His
all right,
area?
well, because
Oh, okay.
it's West Hollywood, and you have to drive over to places early in LA because you can't. The traffic's crazy. So like I
Okay.
get over there earlier to beat the traffic, and I'm like waiting around, like doing work at a cafe, and then he messages me saying like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I have to cancel last minute." And I'm like, What? Do you know
That's not
how
this
much
cancellation-
I have been waiting and like I've truly like fantasizing all day about this release I'm about to get.
Yes. Yes.
Just really getting excited about like being in like a USA kind of zone. He's also like a Reiki person, so like I was gonna get like an energy like I was just so ready. Imagine
Do you like that Reiki stuff? I never.
Sure,
I always feel like
I don't know if it's
I
like
have
I don't know if it's like ever really I'm feeling it, but like
Yeah.
there's like energy being pushed around and stuff. Whatever. Anyway, I was excited for it, and
Yeah.
and it was like truly like edging all day for this, and I had built my like whole day around my massage. Like this is like the thing, and it's my like it's also like part of mental health and like my own
Yes, of
anxiety
course,
and
yes.
like self-help. Like I'm trying to help myself, please. And then he's like, he's in nursing school. So he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm still at school and blah, blah. I'm like, why are you trying to better yourself right now? Like, I need your help. I need your help. What are you doing? Securing a future for yourself. My body's in shambles. Chris. So
stop securing a future.
No, and like he has he has future plans. He's not just gonna be a massage therapist,
A masseur, yeah.
I guess. So like I'm happy for that, and that's one of the reasons why I keep seeing him, because I'm like, I want to help you. You're a student, so like I also like me paying you is like helping you with your studies, and like
Sure.
it's a good for the goose, good for the gander. But
Yeah.
this is
it's
like
like same thing with like
Yeah, but
strippers
now-
who are trying to
and-
work their way through medical school.
Yes, exactly. You want to support them, but this really like pissed me off, and I'm like, I don't know if I maybe need to find a different masseur. But like, massage therapist is like, it's like having a therapist. Like you find the right one, you want to keep them.
If they are the ones that if they feel the same knots you do.
Yes, and they know
It's
where
really
you're
hard,
holding your
yeah.
thing, and it's like,
Yes.
I don't want to find a new one and like get adjusted. Like I want to make this work, but this is the second time he's canceled because of nursing school. So
What's
I'm
happening
fucking
in nursing
pissed.
school?
Exams or shit? I don't know. People better be dying on the table, because I feel like a dead body. My corpse is like rigor mortis as fuck. Like I'm really feeling really tight. So like this was yesterday. This was yesterday. So yeah, like a small trauma of awaiting release and not getting it, but it really pissed me off.
Okay, so my trauma llama ding dong is okay. So when we talk about like sexual release and desire, there's so many moments when I flash back to some of like my formative sexual experiences that I think help illuminate some of what and why I am like this. So that like the first time I ever made out and like did stuff with like a boy was like willingly was like when before I went to college, I decided to do something with this boy that lived in my building. His name was Bart. He's like a Polish immigrant, and I was his gym leader. Which is sort of like this, all sort of very tenuous sort of things. He was 15, I was 17, right? And
What's a gym leader?
it's like if you were on a varsity athletic whatever. If you were a varsity athlete, you basically got to help the gym teacher lead them in stretches. Like you were like a gym teacher's assistant.
Like assistant teacher. Yeah.
Assistant teacher. So you basically got to do that instead of having to do gym.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
what I mean. It's like, it's nice. I would love that. I did love it. So I'm like leading it. Like I'm sort of like a person leadership.
You're an authority figure.
Yeah.
Oh, this is abuse of power. I can tell.
This is what I mean. Yeah. So it's all sort of tenuous.
Oh no.
And but he was like probably one of the most attractive people I've ever hooked up with. Like hands down. Like he had like blonde curly hair, like abs, like he was like a skater, like kind of tall.
Ooh, lanky and hot.
And truly one of the biggest dicks I've ever.
Yes. Okay. The lanky, tall ones, huge dicks.
I learned this. Huge dicks.
Hung.
Like I mean, I'm talking like
offensive.
I never had sex with him. But I don't know if I would have been able to. I couldn't have. Yeah. It was like comical, like sort of.
Like anatomically, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't have worked.
No.
We weren't a match. Yeah. We weren't a match. For a bunch of other reasons, but it wasn't a match.
Wow.
But he lived in my building.
I would have taken a dive. I would have been
let me try. How about this? Both of us, it's a testament to both of our entrepreneurial spirits that we both tried, that we both would have tried, right?
Yeah, to climb that mountain. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it, right? We're both entrepreneurial. That's a
so what did you try
to the immigrant
with him?
Spirit. So we are the same sort of like immigrant class. We live in the same fucking whatever buildings on literally the wrong side of the tracks. And I remember just being in the elevator once and I was like, do you want to come to my house? Because like my parents never were home because they worked. So then we like hooked up once every month. Every month I would let him do something else. So the first month
a little more.
Yes. So first base, second base, third base, and then so after we hooked up the first time, I could see him sort of chomping at the bit, kind of being like, when are we going to do this again?
When else? Yeah.
When else? And so we did it the next month. And
you waited an entire month in between?
That was the plan.
Why?
I don't know. That was just what I had worked out.
Why? But like, why did you work it out to that? Like, what was the logic behind once a month and then incremental stuff?
That was just the timeline I had worked out. We didn't get along. I mean, I didn't hang out with him. Otherwise,
you didn't see him often. He wasn't your boyfriend.
I did see him. He was not my boyfriend. It was never this expectation we'd hang out. Like I was his gym leader, like all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
that was not the relationship, and so it was like, and this also assured that we would stay distant. So
okay, I see. Yeah, you weren't trying to get mixed up.
No.
Okay, and you can tell
psychotic.
That he was. Yeah,
it's already psychotic. You know what I mean? And of course he's getting mixed up because he's like, this is like a random girl that's like willing to do.
Stuff
with no effort on my part. He did put in no effort.
No,
and so
it actually works that he puts less effort in and you want it more. Yeah,
yes,
if he talked more, you would have maybe ended it.
And so this is the story.
Oh no!
So by the time the third time comes around, it's third base.
He sees where it's
fingering.
going. He's rounding home.
He's rounding home base.
Yeah.
And
so you were fingering his asshole?
Yes. And so that's what you mean by rounding home base. That's correct.
You finger blasted this 15-year-old Polish boy, and after leading him in stretches.
We're demonetized.
Anyway, so yeah.
Anyways,
you get to the point.
We get to the point, and No, maybe this is no. So a second base happens, and he had been chopping at the bit. Second base happens, and afterwards we're like hanging out, and he's like, "Oh, and he says the following as a way to indicate to me that he is falling for me. Okay.
Oh no.
He says the following to indicate to me that he is developing feelings. Okay. He tells me this story about how. He had been getting some flack from his friends at driving school because he was he's in 15, so he's getting his permit in
driver's ed.
His friends in driver's ed were giving him some guff because he had yellow fever.
Oh.
And he was telling me this to indicate that he was developing feelings.
And let me tell you, the fever, it's a burden, mama. It's 106 and I need that Kung Pao.
And then the fact that I was like,
cool.
Yeah, like whatever. Like just being like selective memory, that shit, like bong 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 bong. And then wow. I still let him finger me.
Right.
And then he said
it would be like unfair for you to not, because you had an expectation. Yeah.
And so
had you seen his huge dick by now?
Yes.
okay.
Because at second base when we were making out, it was crazy.
Oh,
like
no.
it was crazy.
Three's a crowd.
It's truly like, and I'd never seen a penis before, like an adult penis like that. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yes. That's not an adult. That was 15.
That's 15. But like a teen, he
had a dick of a 46-year-old plumber.
Just like truly like a pubertied out. Like it was crazy. And then afterwards, when the fingering had happened, it was like crazy, and like I did see it then. And then he clearly thought the next was going to be sex, right? That's the expectation. We're rounding home.
Yes.
And that's when he started to really go off about like, so when are we going to do this? Like he was kind of pushing, not following the timeline.
Right.
Pushing forward.
Rushing.
And, rushing. And then I never spoke to him again. And he was really salty about it. I'm just...
Wow. I mean, yeah, I would be salty too because you gave no explanation. But he also did say that he had yellow fever, indeed. And
but also thought that was good. That he was like being like kind of cute of me to be like willing to say, like, let my bros like make fun of me by saying that. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then we never spoke again.
Oh my God.
We truly never spoke again. Is what I mean. Like, when I think about that interaction and that being the only interaction, first interaction that I had in high school.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. And the fact that you didn't know like how to react to him being racist.
Yeah, because also he's a Polish immigrant, like it wasn't like, I think I would have reacted differently if he was like, because he had an accent. He was like fresh off the boat. Yeah. And he was also like kind of like a bad kid. So he's like, he wasn't in school. He wasn't learning, like he was ditching and like, whatever. And like hanging out with like, he was like a skater kid. I mean, you know what I mean? All of it is so weird. Like a Polish immigrant is also like a skater kid. Like,
he was trying to find himself.
Yeah, and he's like he lived mostly with his like grandmother, like all of it. So I think if it was
now, did you not go all the way because of that racist comment? Like, did it come dawn on you like, oh, maybe I should step back, or was it because he kept pressuring you?
Pressuring.
So if he remained quiet, you would have gone all the way.
Correct.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you didn't, because you wouldn't be alive right now. You'd be a dead 17-year-old Korean girl impaled by a giant Polish cock. What a way to go, hon. What a way to go. Oh, man. All right, guys, it's time for our final segment of the episode. It's time for Bitch, Get into it. This is the segment where we plug something or we bring something to each other and to you guys that we're really like digging these days. And let me tell you, did I tell you I started juicing? Did we talk about
like,
celery juice?
I thought you were talking about like juicing, like GHB,
not roids.
Like,
no.
Okay.
I'm talking about literal vegetable juice. Okay. So fucking stupid I am. Lame. So I started getting into celery juice every morning because Eric's waking up early to go to work. And I told him for the first month I'm going to wake up with him and like get adjusted to his new schedule.
Cute. Yeah.
It's really cute and very kind of me. And let's say that. Anyway, so I started doing this thing where I got a juicer and I started juicing celery juice because I've been reading a lot
really
about supposed to be good for you. Now, let me tell you, not all celery is created equal, okay? You have to get if you're a Costco member, you go to Costco. If you're not, go with someone who's a Costco member. Get the organic celery stalks from Costco because let me tell you, this is the best fucking celery you're going to get, hands down, bar none. It is sweet green juice nectar. It is, when you usually think of celery juice, you're like, ugh, gross, right? This tastes like, it doesn't, you don't even know you can't compare it. Anyway, so I've been juicing. It takes a lot of juice to make like 16 ounces, which is the amount you're supposed to drink.
It's like a full bunch. It's a whole bunch almost.
Stock. In the Costco package, it's one full package, which is $3.99. So it's like $4, and then you and your partner are drinking for the day, right? So it's nothing. It's $2, but you fucking drink this thing, and let me tell you, I haven't had a cup of coffee all day.
What?
If you drink celery juice, fresh press in the morning, you will, I guarantee you this, and I'm a coffee drinker since I was 13 years old. Yeah. So I've been drinking coffee for 27 years now. Yeah. 28 years. Yes. Straight, all day. And you know how I drink coffee? Black and hot.
Like a really straight white male. Yeah.
It's very toxic white male of me, but like it's very business pro Wall Street of me. But like I that's how I like my coffee. I don't need all the milk and blah blah blah.
It's the New York in him. It's the aroma, black, classic black. Yeah.
Yes, and like I love an espresso. Don't fuck it up. But anyway, I love coffee, and I've had coffee every single fucking day of my life. But let me tell you, when I juice this fucking celery, I don't even look for it. I am like focused and lasered all day. It's weird. I know. It doesn't make sense. Why celery? And it's not, you would have to eat like a giant bunch of celery to get the same effects. And who could do that? No one's sitting there fucking chomping a whole bag of celery. But like if you juice it, there's something about, I don't know what the science is, and don't quote me on this, but there's something in the celery juice that's giving me so much energy.
That cures your ADHD. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's better than Vyvanse. No. No, it's like I do not look for coffee afterwards. Like I'll drink 16 ounces of celery juice and I am going for the whole day. It's
what
weird.
Juicer are you using? What juicer are you using?
I got this cold juicer that it's I forget what the fucking brand is, but it's like a juicer that's like cold spinning, so like it juices the most amount. You know what I mean? Like you know how you're supposed to cold press juice because like the heat of the spinner basically ruins all the like benefits of juicing. Yes. They say, who knows? This could be a marketing thing. But anyway, I'm cold spinning juice, celery juice, better than I'm a lifetime coffee drinker. Do not drink coffee when I'm drinking celery juice. And I don't even look for it. I don't need it. And
Wow.
I know it's crazy, but bitch, get into it.
Ooh, it reminds me of my parents. They also like bought like a juicer thing. Again, it must have been a thing if you're a Korean person from the
late 80s,
late 80s, like early 90s, like
was it
whose
white?
Parents also bought a juicer. Yeah, it went like went around, and there was like paper film that you have to put into it. There was there was like a paper film that you had to put into it, and they went like, and that was a cold press. It was like the original thing of this.
Oh,
yeah, because it was cold.
Yeah.
It was only cold pressed juice that came out of it. Because my
That's
parents
the
have
way
been drinking
juice.
this. It's the only thing that my parents drink is they still have this fucking thing.
They use
and
it?
they
What are they
use
juicing?
Celery. They've been doing this since the 90s.
Wait, they drink celery juice?
They've been doing this cucumber. Like it's this cold press. Like I'm telling you. They've been doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
You gotta get on it. That's why they're like 70s and still kicking it. You know, like
I guess.
The celery, and by the way, you're not supposed to mix other juices. You're not supposed to do like celery, cucumber, basil, whatever. It's supposed to be straight celery, 100%, 16 ounces of juice.
The celery thing I have heard, it is very like anti-inflammatory. It's supposed to be, there's a lot of antioxidants. Of your life. Yes, this is like what they say. And I've tried the celery stuff. It is pretty good.
You have to do the organic sweet celery from Costco. I'm telling you, Eunji, it's different. It's truly different. You gotta try.
Okay, I'm getting a Costco membership this week, so I'll tell you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, so I am the bitch, and I shall get into it. I had another thing I was gonna do, but to contrast Peter's like really hyper healthy thing, I'm gonna give you something really toxic. So Peter just toured with me, and he knows how crazy my coffee order is. Like I do mine. It is milky and it is sugar. It is the
exact
grossest thing.
Of what I want.
It's so gross. Exact opposite. Ugh. And I will tell you how I achieved this sort of perfect, saccharine, sugary, unhealthy thing that I love. It's a treat. This is basically a treat. It's like I can't even finish it, but it's a treat that I start my day off with. It is, if you guys know Korean instant coffee
Mexim?
Like tubes, Mexim, or sometimes it's called like Mexim, or there's an espresso version. There's a bunch of them, but Mexim is what I get. Mexim is called espresso, and it's a gold espresso. And it comes in packets of 100. It's $24.99 on Amazon, and 100 of those packets come
individual package too. Such a waste of plastic.
Right.
Koreans are crazy. The amount Koreans use plastic is insane. Anyway, get into it.
Because everything needs to be individually wrapped. Because we are all individuals. Capitalism works, and so it's what I do is I get 2 of them. I open 2 of them, and then I pour them in, and then I pour in a big mug. So I put 2 of the packets in, and I fill up a big mug, like a 12 ounce or 16 ounce one, and I fill it up halfway, and I fill it up with hot water. So it's 2, and I pick it up halfway, and then the rest I pour in cold brew, like Kalam, or like you get at the grocery store, like cold brew, because that's also distilled down, so it's like very strong. So I pour that into the rest of the half, and that's the drink that I make.
Oh, okay.
It tastes exactly like Dunkin' Donuts milk and cream and sugar.
Okay.
But with like an extra little bit of kick that's actually much more kick from the cold brew.
All right. I love a coffee hack. That's great.
So that's
I love that. All right, bitch. Get into it. That's our episode for this week. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone for hanging out at the shows. Check out our Patreon if you want more behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes up there. The uncut footage, all the tea, all the gossip. So go check that out. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.